Alright everyone, welcome back to Farmstead Solar and our second mushroom update. Well, things are getting pretty interesting out here in the shiitake patch. We've had a mysterious visitor. Basically somebody's been snacking on the mushrooms before we can harvest them. So we're wondering, is this the sheep sneaking in for a taste, or could it be the local woodchucks with a late night appetite? Well, today we're going to track down the culprit, check on the logs, and see how the mushrooms are holding up. Alright folks, so I'm here at the mushroom project, and just a couple quick updates. So I stopped by the other day and noticed that there were a bunch of mushrooms growing, and I was like, this is amazing. And so I kind of prepared myself, came back 2 days later to harvest some mushrooms. Actually, I came back 2 days later because it was raining, and I wanted to get some shots of the water actually dripping down on the mushrooms. And what happened was I realized that I was missing mushrooms, and that the only mushrooms left were on, like, in between the logs and underneath the logs, and all of the mushrooms that were growing on the top had been eaten. And I'm talking about like pounds of mushrooms. So I was like, and there were some that were in like crevices that had big bites taken out of them. And I'm thinking, like, this couldn't have been the sheep. Like, I mean, maybe it was the sheep. But I realized that it was probably a woodchuck or some critter that had been getting into the logs from somewhere around here. So I went on kind of a bit of a spending spree, and I was like, I gotta get these things protected. You know, a lot of people deal with slugs. Because of the wood chips, we really haven't had to deal with slugs. But woodchucks are just, I draw the line at woodchucks. I cannot stand woodchucks eating my mushrooms. So I went to the store, I bought a bunch of fencing material. I ended up putting some very temporary fencing material up just to kind of like see if it was the sheep, it would keep the sheep out. And we continued to lose mushrooms. So I'm fairly confident that it is a woodchuck. But to be on the safe side, I also am installing a remote monitoring camera that's motion sensor. And these are cameras that we actually use. All of the United Agrivoltaic farm partners use them to watch over the water systems. So I'm gonna install this. I can 360 degrees spin this camera. I can zoom it in. I can check when my mushrooms are ready, because again, I'm coming from quite a ways away. I mean, it's a 20-minute drive to get here. So this isn't like in my backyard. So having a way to monitor these mushrooms is going to be really important. So this is the camera right here mounted on the fence behind me. And it's a VooPeak camera. We've really enjoyed these over the years. We've tried Bushnell and a bunch of other products. And honestly, this particular camera seems to work the best. It's actually recording right now. And maybe I'll dub in that footage. But yeah, and I can actually 360 degrees spin this around, this right here, and watch all these mushrooms from that vantage point. So the mushrooms in this particular project are right here in our first row, just for convenience and ease of access. We're probably going to expand the mushroom operation. I mean, it's been so successful so far, but we really need to work on our marketing first. So I've set up this camera, and then we're going to be installing 3-foot high no climb fencing. We're going to be hooking it from I-beam to I-beam on one side, and then on the other side we've got some step-in stakes that we're gonna put the fencing on, and hopefully we can get this rascally pest, whatever it is, that's eating our mushrooms, we can get a videotape of him. But also, I wanted to let you know that after I found out that these mushrooms had been being eaten, I actually scrambled and gathered up a whole pile of mushrooms. And we got another 60 pounds of mushrooms that day. And it was probably the wrong time to harvest them, because we were harvesting them in the rain, and we were, just scrambling to get what we could. But we ended up setting them out on the counter, on tables, pretty much everywhere to dry out, and then and now they're clean, dry, and ready for processing. So hopefully we'll be able to start selling these at one of our local markets. I've reached out to a couple local restaurants as well, and we're making some connections there. So cross our fingers, we'll get some mushroom sales going, and and be able to stop this pesky creature from enjoying our delicious mushrooms. All right.
Well, mystery solved. We caught the mushroom bandits in the act, and would you believe it? It was not the woodchucks at all. It was my beloved sheep. I never imagined my own flock would turn against my precious mushrooms. Well, it just goes to show that even the best partners on the farm can surprise you. Hey, thanks for watching along on this update. Drop a comment if you've ever had animals outsmart you, and we'll see you in the pasture.